The successor of the Valve Index headset has been announced, SteamFrame. But yeah, many people waited for a long time and now they are a little disappointed. And now many of you are probably wondering, should I wait until early 2026 to buy the SteamFrame, or should I buy something else like a Quest 3 or a Pimax or something like that? So I'll analyze the facts for you and give you some tips what you should do now. My name is Thomas and you're watching VoodooDE VR. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go.
VoodooDE.
Okay guys, let's just talk about the facts, the technical specifications now. And directly the first one is pretty disappointing for some people. We have a resolution of 2160 by 2160 with an LC display with 120 Hz. Experimental mode will be 144 Hz. And this is absolutely nothing special. That's just standard. Also, when you compare to the Quest, we have a resolution of 2064 by 2208 at also 120 Hz. So this is the same, pretty the same, right? And many people expected some higher resolution, I think. For example, when you compare it to the high-end headsets, a Pimax Crystal Super or so, it has like 3840 by 3840 with OLED. And this is just much better, yeah, much better. And perhaps many people expected something like that, or at least something between the Quest or a Pimax headset, but this is not the case. The SteamFrame is an entry headset for the mass market. Also, the field of view is only 110 degrees. They didn't say if it's horizontal or diagonal or so. It's 110 degrees, and this is exactly the same as Meta Quest. So also what you see, the field of view is not much better or even not better than with a Quest headset. Yeah, so it's nothing special here. For the Pimax headset, we can have like up to 130 degrees, which is of course much higher. So there are headsets that are definitely better. I mean, they are, of course, they are more expensive, but perhaps many people expected that from the SteamFrame as well. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with 16GB RAM in the SteamFrame is, by the way, much faster than the Quest 3 with 8GB and Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor. So here Valve has an advantage. We will see if that works. And both headsets, the Quest and the SteamFrame, can be used with or without PC. The PCVR headsets like Pimax Crystal or Big Screen Beyond 2 can only be used with a cable on a PC. So it's the same, the SteamFrame is the same than Quest, but we have the SteamVR store instead of the Meta Horizon store. So we will see. But now the question is, what does it mean? So many people wrote me, oh, finally, now I can play all my SteamVR games without a PC. Oh, be careful, guys. Of course, you will be able to play the casual games like Beat Saber or so, standalone in SteamVR. But if you expect to play the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 standalone on this device, this will not work. I'm pretty sure. I'm really sure. This is impossible. Even a high-end graphics card like a 4090 is struggling here. So how on earth could this be possible with a small chipset in a standalone headset? This will not work. Not even with dynamic foveated rendering or so. This is, I don't think so. So this will be streamed via PCVR still then, I would say. But we will see. Perhaps Valve can do some magic and put the games into SteamVR, at least some of them. We will see. What's very interesting is that we have in the SteamFrame, we have foveated streaming. This is crazy. It's not the same than dynamic foveated rendering. So it's based on eye tracking. Both is based on eye tracking. But here, foveated streaming means that we can reduce the bit rate in several areas where you just don't look. So you have more bandwidth to the router or to your PC, and then it will look better and at the spot where you just look. This is very interesting, and the Quest doesn't have that. Also, the space is 256 gigabytes or 1 terabyte in the Steam frame, and you can even use an SD card to have more space. That's really cool. The Quest has 512 gigabyte, but to be honest, I never used the full space of the Quest. So 512 would be enough for me. I never missed a SD card slot in the Quest, to be honest, but I know many people perhaps will like that. The head strap that comes with the Steam frame is like not hard material, like for example here, this is the Quest 3 with the Elite strap. Yeah, I prefer this one. It's really great, and not that I recommend the Elite strap. It's much too expensive. But there are other ones that are like the same here, and they are really, in my opinion, better than the soft ones. But we will see. At least we have the battery at the back, and then the weight is spread. This could be very interesting. So what also do we have? We have pancake lenses in both headsets, for example, the Quest and the Steam frame. So this is nothing special. We also have this in other headsets here. Pancake is just standard right now. But with the tracking, the Valve Index, the old one, this one here, has Lighthouse tracking, and this still counts as the best tracking. Of course, we have to put the base stations on the wall and so on, but all in all, it's a step back in the quality of tracking now, because now we have only cameras tracking. And this is still not 100% as good as Lighthouse tracking. So yeah, but this is normal. We cannot blame Valve for that, because everybody, even Pimax used inside-out tracking now with the headsets. What I really wondered is that the Steam frame has monochromous cameras for the headset. This is crazy. So it's only for the tracking. The cameras are only for the tracking. And for example, Meta has colored depth cameras where you can do mixed reality. I mean, many people don't care about mixed reality, but I really love mixed reality. There are cool apps and games and so on, but you will not be able to play them with a Steam frame. You have to keep that in mind. No mixed reality. And then we have a nice connection. In Steam frame we have Wi-Fi 7. That's great, because Quest has only Wi-Fi 6E. Yeah, I cannot compare it now to the PCVR headsets, because they are not standalone. They are cabled on PC. So standalone stuff, I only talk about yeah, Quest and Steam frame. And this could be very interesting, because also there is a small adapter included in the Steam frame, and this has a direct connection to the PC with a dual frequency. One frequency is for audio and video, and the other one connects to your Wi-Fi. This could be really great. So potentially the Steam frame has a better PCVR streaming than Quest. Potentially. We didn't try it yet, but it could be the case. So the weight of the Steam frame is only 440 grams, including the head strap. This is really great. It's a very light headset, because the Quest has, with the standard strap, 512 grams. So it's really heavier. But still, this is not the best you can have, the 440 grams. For example, the upcoming Pimax Dream Air is much better in every single category. The display, OLED, and field of view and all this stuff. And this is only 170 grams. This is crazy. And then we have the Big Screen Beyond 2, which is 107 grams. This is even lighter. So the 440 grams is not the optimal right now. Also, the controllers that come with Steam frame, you have to get used to them. Did you see them? So for example, when you see here the Quest controller, so everybody who has a VR headset, it's used to have A, B and X, Y buttons. This is in nearly every controller. You see it here. Here it is, there it is, here it is. Even here with a Play for Dream, we have 2 buttons on each side. And the Steam frame controller has 4 buttons on one side and no button on the other side. And this could perhaps be a little bit, you have to get used to that. Yeah. So keep that in mind. But then you have the advantage that you can play all VR games and also all flat games, because it's like a gamepad, right? For Quest you need an additional gamepad to play flat games. That's crazy. And then for the operating system we have SteamOS in the Steam frame and HorizonOS in the Meta Quest. And with both we can do browsing, we can do cloud saves and so on, but they are not compatible to each other. So you will not be able to play the Meta Quest store on the Steam frame. And this is a disadvantage because we still don't know how big the SteamVR standalone store will be. How many of those games can we play standalone? We don't know this. Yeah, it's not almighty. We still have a standalone processor here. So be careful with that. And Meta already knows what they are doing. They have a huge store, which definitely everything works on the Quest headset. So, but then with the Steam frame, we can stream from the new devices, from the Steam machine, from Steam Deck, and so on. That also works, or even from a PC or laptop. So now, should you wait or not? So the thing is, if you expected like high-end headset or better technical specifications, you will likely be disappointed because you don't have high resolution, you don't have OLED display, you don't have a big field of view. This could be disappointing, and for this you can also just go for the Quest right now, yeah, because it's the same technical specifications. Okay, the processor is a little bit slower, but still, yeah, this is not a huge step from the Quest, of course. It could be interesting for people that want PCVR streaming, because with this extra dongle we have a direct PCVR connection. That could be a reason, right? Because it's better than Quest, the streaming, likely better. We don't know still, but I think so. And then if you waited for a release game for a system seller that comes with the Steam frame, I have to disappoint you, because I read an article on Upload VR and Valve told them that they are not working on a AAA VR title that comes together with the Steam frame. So no Half-Life 3, no Alyx 2. Yeah, perhaps somewhere later, but not together with Steam frame. So I have to disappoint you here. But we have the potential that we perhaps can play Half-Life Alyx standalone if Valve is doing some magic. This is not confirmed, but perhaps we will be able to do this. And then people that always read about Half-Life Alyx and they don't have a gaming PC, they could finally play it. But I don't know that. It's only a potential. And also for people there who should buy them, for people that have a pretty huge Steam library and want to play it on a huge screen, the flat games could be interesting. But be careful, as I said, with the controllers. If you already have a VR headset, then the new controllers, you really have to get used to that. That also some testers that already tried the headset, they said that. Also, some testers said the display of the Steam frame has not a good contrast, and also it doesn't have local dimming. Yeah? Local dimming means that you have something like OLED. So you have an LCD display, but areas that are dark are a little bit dimmed. But the Steam frame will not have that. Also pretty disappointing. So the comfort, I mean, I'm a bit curious about this soft strap because I hate the Meta Quest soft strap that comes with the Quest. But here at least the battery is on the back, so we will see if the comfort is good. But at least you can exchange the strap, I think. Also, what finally is the thing that we all should keep in mind is the upcoming price. We don't know the price. So this is very important now. We don't know anything. Valve says it will be under $1,000. So $999, right? So I don't know, but but the Quest with $499, this is insane. This is the best price. And then we even have the Quest 3S, which can nearly do the same with a little bit lower lens and display quality. And this is only $299 and can do everything. So the price of Quest is crazy. It's really good. And then the question is, will Valve do the same or will it be more expensive? This is the question, the most important question. And then, for example, we have headsets that are much better. For example, as I said, the Dream Air, this is 1,780 euro. This is better in every category. So if you want to have better high-end headset, go for Pimax, for example. But this one has no standalone, of course. So so many from the community said they are disappointed and so on, and they don't really want to buy it now. I made a survey on my German channel with a lot of participations and so on. They said most of them are disappointed. They will not buy it, or the 35% said I want to buy it for the same price or so. But the opinions are completely different. Some people say they are disappointed, and other people say it's okay, it's mainstream, it's the same as Quest, this is absolutely enough. Finally, I can go away from Meta or something like that. Yeah. But why are the people disappointed? I think, I mean, it's like the Quest 3, and the Quest 3 is a great headset. So why is everybody disappointed? I can tell you, because the old Valve Index was the non-plus ultra when it came out. It was the best headset in these times. And many people, including me, expected that Valve is doing similar things. So they will be on the top level. But the Steam frame is not on the top level, it's just mainstream. And that's why perhaps some people are disappointed. For people that are like beginners, I would still recommend a Quest 3 because it has a nice price. You already know that the library is very good, and that's really great. Many people said, "Wow, the SteamVR store is much bigger and better than the Meta Horizon store." But guys, let me tell you something. I play millions of games, yeah, also on SteamVR, and I only show like 5% of them on my channel or so. And I can tell you, the SteamVR library is 99%. It's definitely 99% bullshit and crap. Yeah, because everybody pushed their shit there. So don't say that SteamVR library is better than Horizon Store. This is absolutely not the case. Of course, we also have shitty games in the Meta Horizon Store, but definitely in the SteamVR store, it's also the case that there is a lot of bullshit there. So this is not a big advantage. So Meta has a good library. We have a lot of good games. And yeah, so this is perhaps a reason people should buy still Quest 3 or so. But who should buy the Steam frame? First, of course, people that don't like Meta. Yeah, if you don't like Meta, now you have a good alternative. Go for a Steam frame perhaps, yeah? And people that have a huge Steam library and they want to play flat games on a huge screen, that also works good, likely on the Steam frame. And people that want the best PCVR streaming connection, because I think this will be better than on Quest 3, but we have to see that. But guys, if you are just disappointed and you don't want to buy a Steam frame, you don't want to wait, then I will recommend some headsets. Of course, as always, the Quest 3, it's perfect for beginners, or the Quest 3S is even cheaper. They have a good knowledge, they have a big store, they can also support PCVR, it has the same technical specifications, and we can also do mixed reality, which we cannot do with a Steam frame. If you want to smell some high-end Air, then you could go for the Dream Air SE. This is a lower version of the Dream Air, and this is lower cost. Or the Pimax Crystal Lite, for example, this is also a lower price, but still a high-end headset. But then I have coupons of all the headsets, Quest 3, Pimax headsets, Big Screen Beyond. Check out the link in the description. You will get the coupons. And you can support me and can support yourself. Nice, a win-win. And if you want to go into the full high-end sector, I can recommend, like, for example, the Big Screen Beyond 2 or the Pimax Crystal Super with OLED. Absolutely amazing, great display. Or the Pimax Dream Air, or even, for example, the Samsung Galaxy XR. This is also great. If you want to see the reviews of all the headsets, I will put them in the description so you can check them out. And also, as I said, the coupons are in the description. But guys, if you want to wait until, I think somebody said February 2026, I'm not sure. But if you want to wait for the release of the Steam Frame, then make sure to subscribe my channel and hit the bell, because I promise I will do a very honest review and a full in-depth review of the Steam Frame as soon as it comes out. So guys, I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
VoodooDE